Hello everyone, myself Mrs. Mansi Dulab. Welcome you all in the class interaction, ninth class interaction. This class interaction is about maths. As due to this pandemic epidemic COVID-19, we all are staying at home. So this is a small effort to interconnect you. Let us start with our math subject. So, first of all, I would like to tell you about the maths, how maths is useful in our life. Maths is all around us. Whether you like mathematics or are even very good at it, math is all around us all the time. When you are at the department store balancing your checkbook or doing your taxes, mathematics is a necessary skill. It can even improve your sports game. Many people believe that maths talent to be something that is inherited or are born with. Actually, ability in maths only gets you so far. Hard work and good study habits are far more valuable. Definition: maths is the study of measurements, properties, and relationships of quantities and sets using numbers and symbols. Mathematics is very important and interesting subject, and everyone needs a basic knowledge of mathematics to lead a life in a socio-economic world. Mathematics subject is like a ocean where different lot many rivers are joined as like lot many branches in mathematics. There are five main branches of mathematics. So let us see these branches of mathematics. So we have here total 5 branches. So we will see one by one these branches. Very first branch is the arithmetic. It is the oldest and the most elementary among other branches of mathematics. It deals with numbers and the basic operations, means addition, subtraction, multiplication, division between them. Second branch is the algebra. It is a kind of arithmetic where we use unknown quantities along with numbers. These unknown quantities are represented by letters of the English alphabet such as X, Y, A, B, etc. or symbols. The use of letters helps us to generalize the formulas and rules that we write and also helps us to find the unknown missing values in the algebraic expressions and equations. The third branch is the geometry. It is the most practical branch of mathematics that deals with shapes and sizes of figures and their properties. The basic elements of geometry are points, lines, angles, surfaces, and solids. The one more branch you are going to study in the next class, that is trigonometry. Derived from two Greek terms, trigno meaning a triangle and metron meaning a measure. It is the study of relationship of triangles. Statistics and probability. This branch is already you are studying. It is concerned with the laws governing random events including collection, analysis, interpretation and display of numerical data. Now let us look around our course structure for class 9th. We have here very first unit, that is of number system, which carries 8 marks. Algebra second unit, which has total marks 17. Then coordinate geometry, that is has 4 marks. Geometry total 28. Mensuration 13. And statistics and probability, it carries 10 marks. So likewise total 80 marks written paper is there. Now we will see that of the weightage to form of questions. MCQs, that is fill in the blanks, right? So or that of the choose the correct option and one line question answer. So it has marks for each question will be 1, number of questions 10 and total marks are 10. SAR is of that of 2 questions, 2 marks per question. Number of questions are 5. Then that of short answer 3 marks for each question and 10 number of questions are there. So total marks is 30. Large answer, for that we have 6 marks each question or 4 marks each question and that of the 5 questions. So total 30 marks we have. So this is changes accordingly. See, we have a blueprint over here. So that is the mathematics number system, very first MCQ 1, then SAR type questions 2 on number system we ask, then small answer type wale 3 questions we ask, total 6 question, that of 6 marks that of the 3 questions. Then we have algebra, the one question is asked on MCQ, 2 questions on SAR, 3 questions on small that of the short answer and 1 question on long answer. So likewise total 7 questions may ask on algebra. Coordinate geometry, total 3 questions asked. 1 question on MCQ, 1 question on short answer with reasoning on that and 1 question on short answer. Then we have geometry, on that total 8 questions asked. See, the more weightage is there, that is on geometry, that is 22 marks. So 4 question on MCQ, 2 questions on short answer and that of the total we have 8 questions, right, and 2 questions on long answer. Mensuration, 2 questions on MCQ, 2 questions on short answer and 1 question on large answer. Statistics and probability, total 4 questions asked. So we have here that 1 question for MCQ, 1 question for SAR and 1 question for short answer, 1 question for long answer. Likewise the maths paper is designed. Now we'll see the actual paper pattern how we design over here. Section A has total 20 marks. Question 1 to question 10 MCQ questions are there. Now this MCQ means that is choose the correct option. Now whatever the questions are asked in section A, it is compulsory to write it down question as well as answer, right? Means that choose the correct option is there. That means what we will do over here, that is the question only we will write, we will not write the option. But while writing the answer, that time whichever the correct option we are supposed to write there. So option, then question number 11 to question number 15 are FIB, fill in the blanks. Here also the whole statement is required. Even though it is a maths paper, then also the questions are compulsory to write it down for section A and underline the fill in the blanks. Then question number 16 to 20, that is 1 marks each. Answer the following. Then section B we have total 12 marks. So to question number 21 to question 26 solve 2 marks each. Then we have section C, it is of 24 marks. So question 27 to question 34 solve, that is 3 marks each. So 8 questions asked in the section C. Question D 24 marks. So that is question 35 to question 40 solve again this question, then 4 marks each. So likewise total that of the 6 questions asked for this section. So total marks is 80 and time limit for this paper is 3 hours. Now how to manage the time in these 3 hours of 80 question paper? So we will see later on. First we will see that internal assessment. Now we are writing 80 marks paper. There is some internal assessment is also there. So this internal assessment carries marks, that is total 20 marks. So how these 20 marks are distributed? Let us see. Pen paper test is 5 marks. That is we test we are giving in the school, the means number of tests we are giving, so that carries 5 marks. Multiple assessment 5 marks. Now this multiple assessment is of two types, that is self assessment and peer assessment. Whatever projects and all we are giving, so those one come under peer assessment. So group tasks, right? So it comes under group assessment, and self assessment individual assignment and all we are giving, so comes under that of self assessment. Portfolio, it carries 5 marks. Lab practical 5 marks. So likewise the total marks for the internal assessment is 20 marks. So 80 marks that of the writing paper and 20 marks for the internal assessment. So total is 100% or that of the 100 marks paper for the maths. Now we'll have time management for section wise. How to manage the time section wise? Let us see. So whichever section you feel easy, that one's section first solve it. Let us see that section D total, it carries total 6 number of questions. So the at least 6 to 8 minutes we can give per question. Then section C carries 8 questions. So we can give 5 to 6 minutes each question. Section B, it carries 6 questions. So we can give over here 2 to 3 minutes per question. Section A, it has total 20 questions. So we can give over here 1 to 3 minutes per question. So likewise we can manage the time, and we can overcome from the problem of that I left the paper or means I didn't get time to complete my paper. So from this problem we can overcome if we follow this timetable or this pattern for the management of time. Now how to do study? So mathematics it is a scoring subject and can affect the overall percentage of your class. 9. Scoring marks in mathematics is easy if you put some extra efforts into it. The subject is totally based on the calculation and problem solving. So, understanding of the concepts plays a major role. If you think that just mugging up the formulas and studying a few months before the exam will help you fetch good scores, then this is just an illusion. Maths is a subject that is all about practice. The more you practice, the more clear concepts will be. In this way, we can have. So, let us see how to do study. We have concentrate on your formulas and that of the basic terms and functions. Whatever the basic things are there, just work out on that first. Then all learn all formulas. Give more time for practicing. So only once you solve the questions and then means you will say yes, now I'm master in maths. No, it is not as such. You have to practice again and again, solve more number of sums of the same kind. Always first understand and then solve the problem. Do not learn any problem. Focus on your time management also. Right now only we have seen how to manage the time for solving the whole paper. Always solve easier section first. Solve all the exercise problems of NCERT textbook. So whatever is taught in the class, try solving questions related to the topic from the NCERT book. For more practice, you can also refer to the other books such as R.D. Sharma. But firstly, solve the exercise questions of NCERT textbook. You know, in the question paper, that 80% questions are asked on the textbook only. Solved and unsolved questions from that. So unsolved means that is from the exercise, and solved that is given before the exercise. So 80% questions are based on the textbook only, and 20% is of outside, means it is again based on our syllabus only. Just only the difficulty level is slightly greater. If your concepts are clear, then that 20% questions also we are able to solve easily. Study in a group. Studying in a groups is always an advantage, but you should be good enough to choose your friends. That will help in your studies instead of wasting your time in other activities. Choose a good friend circle and discuss the problem among yourselves. Find out easiest way of solving the problem. In case you couldn't able to find the solution, then ask your teacher. Make study scheduled. This is also beneficial for us. If you are making your study table or study schedule, then you are just able to finish the paper in time also, and nothing will be impossible for you. Right? Making schedules will keep you on the right path and help study at a constant pace. Allocate at least 1 hour for practicing the mathematics on a daily basis. If you are poor in maths subject, then you can devote more time to it. Explain to others. This is again very useful for us. Whenever you are doing a group study, ask your friends to study different chapters so that when all of you done with studying, then each one of you be able to teach something new to each other. Doing this activity will help you to learn the entire topic in a detailed way. Also, the topics will last in your memory for a longer time as you have taught it to your friend. कहते हैं ना कि मीन्स ये पढ़ाई या फिर जो हमने सीखा है वो बांटने से बढ़ता है, ज्ञान बांटने से बढ़ता है। तो दैट इज़ ओनली ओवर हियर कि अगर हम वॉट एवर वी हैव लर्न, इफ़ वी जस्ट टीच टू द अदर पर्सन, देन दैट वन दैट टॉपिक वी विल मेमोराइज for the longer time. Solve previous year questions and sample papers. Take breaks. Now solve previous year papers. Solving previous year questions and sample papers will help to get acquainted with types of question asked in the examination. Take breaks while studying. When students sit in one place trying to remain focused on instructions for a long duration of time, it makes learning difficult. At this moment, you should try to take short breaks. Go for a walk, exercise for a while during your study breaks. Doing 10 to 20 minutes of exercise in between your studies will help you to stay fit and to mentally prepared for future studies. Do revisions. It's a time when you should go through the entire syllabus again. While revising, give special attention to those topics which carry more weightage. Also solve the important questions before the exam. Take proper rest. Try not to be stressed as the exam approaches. Get a good night's sleep the night before the exam. Do not study any new topic before the exam. Be relaxed and peaceful. Now, if you want to score out of marks in the exam, we should follow these steps also. Study mathematics for at least 1 hour every day. This 1 hour should only be for self study by reading books, watching videos, etc. Don't go sorry this is up to you only, that whether joining a coaching or tuition, it is up to you only, but I'll say that learn by yourself only. Solve the questions given in the NCERT textbook after completing each topic in the chapter. Solve all the questions given in the miscellaneous exercises and examples. Revise all the questions which you have solved in the week on Sunday. And also revise all the important formulas used in each and every chapter. Practice previous year question papers. Thus, now solve higher order thinking skills, that is HOTS questions also for each chapter. Then you can refer for this. We have the reference books, that is R.D. Sharma, R.S. Agarwal. Then we have exam idea. So likewise you can refer books. Focus more on weak chapters and the topics which you feel difficult for or face more problems. Also never leave any chapter in the syllabus and give equal importance to all the chapters in mathematics. Take full length mock test at home for complete 3 hours one day before the actual exam. Finally, be confident and visualize dream. You will feel that means your score you will score that 80 on 80 marks in the exam. Tips for paper presentation. Now we have seen the paper presentation, we have seen paper pattern, how to manage the time. Now, if we want to score out of marks, then the one more thing is there, that is the paper presentation, right? So, always draw the diagram given in the question paper. Many teachers are critical about this. They may cut your marks if you don't. For chapters like surface area, draw the diagram and indicate the parameters given in the question like height, radius, etc. For to prove type questions, follow the schemes. First write given whenever proof type questions are there. So that time that proof we are writing in three parts. One part is what? Given, which we picked up from the question only. Then to prove, again this is from it is given in the question only, and proof on based on these two what is required, we are just writing the statements with the reasons. So likewise in the three parts we are dividing that proof to prove. Never forget the diagram and their labelings in geometry based questions. Always write the final statement that is asked in the question. For example, if the question demands to find the cost of painting of walls, then at the end we should write the cost of painting walls is whatever answer you got, just specify over there. If you don't know the answer to some questions, then leave them and answer them at the end, but indicate question number and section correctly. This is very important. If in a hurry, if you are writing the question is from the section B and you are writing that section C, and you are directly solving that question, then what you may lose over their marks even though your sum is correct. Write the reason of applying certain concepts in geometry questions, like if they are linear pair or alternate angles. This has marks. So whatever statements we are getting, so it is important to specify the reason, or we have to specify there what type of angles are there, or likewise. Be extra careful with graphs. Graphs we are just take while drawing the diagrams also we should use pointed pencil, then that of the scale. So whatever diagrams are there we should draw with the scale and pencil only, right? Then never forget to write x and y axis. Then the graphs we are drawing, no, so have to mention the scale on the top of the graph. And the if we are drawing a line or we are getting a line in a graph, so that time we have to specify the equation of the line that represents. These were all the tips of paper presentation. Obviously, to present the paper nicely, you will need to have knowledge of the subject. So, solve every single one of NCERT questions and refer to the other books as well. Thank you.